So today we've got a really interesting topic. Whose client is it anyway? And I'm going to present you with all three opinions. You know, that of the owner, the stylist, and maybe that of the client. If you just joined, my name is Warren. This is Mr. Barber. And if you're serious about growing or improving as a barber, then subscribe to this channel. If you've already done that, welcome back. So yeah, let's get straight into it.
That's cool. Today's video is a very difficult one. Two things first, I must apologize. Firstly, do you like the new studio? I know there's a video where I say it's not a real studio, it's just my room, but that's my studio and I repainted it and I like it. And then, oh, this squeaky chair. Like, you're gonna have to just forgive me for the chair because I don't have another one, and this is the one that I am gonna use, but this is it. So whose client is it anyway? So you find yourself in a position where, you know, a barber has left, you know, they're gone, they've taken some of the clients with him. And while we don't talk about this enough or at all, we definitely talk about it behind closed doors. But this is a topic that, you know, it's conflicting and it's confusing because we get into this rut of, you know, whose client is it? As an owner myself, and I've been an owner for 20 years, you know, I feel that it's my client, or I used to feel that way, that it's my client. I've, you know, put in the investment, I've paid the salaries, I pay the rent, I pay the creature comforts, you know, like the foosball table, or I pay for, you know, the Wi-Fi and the Coke fridge, and I become more than just an employer to them. I become their friend, I become a colleague, I become, you know, the best man, the driver, you know, therapist, sometimes the financial aid. So when I put all this investment into it, it's simple to me, it's my client, you know. But barbers feel different, or, you know, those, you know, stylists, they feel different. They feel that it's their skill and it's their talent that keeps the client coming back. So we kind of get into this, you know, I've only paid the acquisition cost, but it's their talent and skill that keeps the client coming back. So we get into this argument, and I may say that, or you may feel that, you know, they didn't even have any skill and there was no way they were even going to meet that client if it wasn't for your location. But it happens, and it's going to happen, and there's really nothing that you can do about it. And you may say, but what about the restraint of trade? And you're right, the restraint of trade is there and it's in our contracts, but it's not enforced by our council. And that being said, you know, it's a civil matter. So I think that maybe we should, or maybe, you know, we look at this industry from a different perspective, and maybe we're going about the service industry in the wrong way. Maybe, you know, we should look at a model that facilitates growth instead of control. And what I mean by that is that when I now employ someone and they show that, or they indicate that they would like to own their own space one day and they have what it takes, then facilitate growth instead of control. And that may be, you know, helping them to develop a map that helps them, you know, reach their goal. And you say, but what, am I not then training my own competition? And yes, you are, you know, in some context, you are training your own competition, but they were going to leave anyway. They were going to leave because clearly this does happen. So this way, you are at least playing a positive role in their journey. And you know, maybe this, you know, changes how they feel about the brand. It maybe changes the way they think of the brand. Maybe get them to actually, you know, like the brand a little bit more. And you don't know that this can even lead to maybe them, you know, wanting a franchise of this brand. I'm just saying that the service industry in itself has pitfalls. And one of those pitfalls is that it is inconsistent. And what that means is it depends on the person providing the service. And you can't own a person, you can't own a client, and more specifically, you can't own their choice. And the clients are always going to choose the person that's providing the service. So it becomes very conflicting for me as an owner as to, whose client is it anyway. So I'm changing my model, or at least I have already changed my model, to really facilitate growth and, maybe just be a positive influence on their journey versus trying to control it. And I know for longevity, because I'm not just a barbershop owner, I also, play a positive role in the entire industry, and you're trying to build this ecosystem where this industry has longevity, and you're trying to add benefits to the employees to make sort of their journey a bit easier. But if someone is going to leave, that whether you provide the best environment for them, you pay them well, you take care of them, you facilitate growth, they're going to leave. And if they've indicated that, or you know what's going to happen, it's two things really that keeps clients at your shop, and that is consistency and convenience. And as long as you are still convenient, and as long as you are consistent in the service that you are providing as a salon owner, then clients will stay. But if that barber that's leaving is also consistent and convenient, clients will follow. So it is a very difficult, and I don't think there's any clear answer to that, except my view is that I can't own the client. I can't own their choice. I can provide a service, I provide my space, and I provide it in a way that I feel is adding value, but I can't own their choice. And that's really what it comes down to. So there isn't a clear-cut answer to this, except that you can't own a client's choice. So that was a mouthful. I know that it was a lot, and it was just me and you having a conversation. And usually my videos have a lot of cinematic things in it, and there's a lot of editing, and this was just straight me and you having a conversation, and that's what I wanted it to be. In fact, this is now part of a series. Like, you didn't even know you were watching a series. Like, part 1 was the pros and cons of moving salon home, and this is now part 2, and who knows, there might be a part 3. So you've moved home, and or you've moved location, and you need to rebuild. So maybe that's part 3, I don't know. Let's see how it goes. But yeah, so thank you again for watching. This is Mr. Barber.